Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out a Unity game called Swamp Sim by developer Tokyomage. The premise here, it is a first-person exploration game with a definite bit of horror twinge, but it's horror with a comedic element to it as well, as I'm sure you'll quickly see. The game borrows, parody-wise, from the Slender formula in that instead of 8 pages that we're going to be searching out, it's going to be 8 onions. Because Swamp Sim is actually kind of an analog for us trying to interpret that this is actually a game about Shrek. So, as silly as that might sound, maybe it's going to turn out to be kind of fun, and I think, honestly, things that have to do with Shrek complement my YouTube catalog quite well. So why don't we get into things? Oh, and before you wonder what this means, by the way, in the top left corner it says Shrek off. That's just the quit button. I thought it meant that we could add more Shrek into the game. I was unfortunately quite wrong with that. But there is single layer, which is single player, multi-layer, and this is referencing onions, which actually, so this game actually has multiplayer mode. I haven't tried it or anything, but it actually has multiplayer mode, which is more than I can say for most. So why don't we start it up and see if we can get some Shrek done. Shrek is love, Shrek is life, God 2013. Loading. So it's a very dramatic game, from what I can tell. It's got a very heavy sense of self to it. Everything seems very much like it's very impactful and that this game should be taken very seriously, when in reality, you know, it's just playing a good bit of satire, which I kind of appreciate. Can I turn my flashlight on and off? No, it doesn't look like it. So controls are pretty simple. We've got shift to sprint, WASD to move around, and of course mouse look as always. I did play like 30 seconds of this to get my sound levels, and just so you know, we're not going to be walking into the water until the very, very end, if possible, because that is instant death. But it is kind of funny also what happens to you. So let's walk around. We'll see if we can find anything here. Typical dark scenery with some mountainous terrain going on the side, which is kind of good level design-wise, helps focus you down a certain path. We've got the fence here as well to help establish this little line that we should be following. I'm not sure what that is. Looks like a scrap of wood or something. And just sort of leads you in one direction until we'll find, hopefully, one of the onions just laying on the ground there. And they do actually have a little bit of ambient light going on around them, so they're a little bit easier to find. I'm not sure if there's anything that's going to be actively pursuing us. It's probably for the best that there might not be, but I don't really know 100%. Ooh, found a cut-down tree which actually looks hollowed out. Maybe it's a secret portal? Maybe there's another onion? No, doesn't seem so. Alright, so let's hop over this edge and see if there's anything over here before we pick up that onion. And there will be Shrek quotes in the game, which actually are framed to be quite demonic and hilarious. But I had to keep them rather tuned down in audio levels just because I don't know if that's going to end up being an issue for me. It probably won't, because they're actually changed in terms of pitch, so. But if you want to experience this yourself, it is totally free, so feel free to go ahead and download. Maybe you could play with some friends. And so let's see, does this look like an actual onion? Can we duck and get a closer look? It kind of looks a little bit like a softball.
Like onions.
Yeah, there we go.
They stink? Yes. No. Oh, they make you cry? No. Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs? No. Layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers? You get it. We both have layers.
There you go. So now you know ogres very much like onions in that they both have layers. And now we've got some pretty heavy ambient music playing in the background that's certainly making me feel as if I'm being watched by an ogre or a donkey or an onion. Sentient onion. Could be sentient onion. Never know. This is quite the deep forest we've gotten ourselves into, and it looks like it keeps going for a while, unless there's just going to be an invisible wall at some point, because now, thankfully I've been walking all in one direction, but if I got myself turned around, this could end up being a bit of a problem. Oh. There's music coming from some... Oh my god, it's that song. Ah, talk over it, talk over it, talk over it. Get out of there. Get out of there. Alright, so the beast is actually, in this case, getting copyright claims on this video instead of Slender. Oh, we've got a toilet. Is there going to be an onion in the... No. Okay, good. That's probably for the best, to be honest. Alright, I might actually have to edit that part out. I don't know, because it didn't sound like it was changed in any way. And that is exactly what the YouTube people are looking for. The YouTube algorithms, I should say, because they're not actually people. They're like nanomachines that infiltrate the internet and search out offensive little bits that are actually not offensive at all and probably are fair use, but we're not going to get into that discussion right now. Let's keep looking around for onions, because onions make the world go round. Are there any more onions over in this direction? I'm really hoping. And I've been running for quite a while now. No onions over here? Really? There's a little bit of, ooh, glitchy texture work going on over here. Yeah, this is always the problem with these things. When you've got water at a certain level, and then you've got terrain mapping that's, like, oftentimes the exact same level as the water, then the two textures compete for space, because they don't really know which one should be on top. Which you can't really blame them. I mean, it's just sort of the way that things work. Alright, I see a light off in the distance. Maybe we want to be headed over in that direction. You never know what could be over there. I'm just also following the shore here just to make sure I catch as much of this as possible in case there's going to be more onions around. I'm surprised that there's actually invisible walls in some cases. I would have thought that a better punishment might have been to have us meet the same fate that we meet when we go in the water. Actually, surprisingly nice ambience. You know, these little bits of fog or smoke over the water actually look pretty nice. The reflections and everything going on. The trees, I'm sure, fairly standard. Probably like standard Unity assets. I'm sure probably most of these textures are as well. But regardless, the way they're put together can make a difference as well. No more trees over in this direction, but we do have a nice, night skyscape going on. I guess this is not really anywhere I need to be. At least the developer had the decency to not put any trees over there, so I know that that's a place that I don't need to be, just by virtue of it looking completely desolate. I assume probably most people would be tempted to just put trees all the way up to the waterline just so you don't feel like it's a strange space, but then again, sometimes you do want to kind of demarcate those spaces with different geographical features. If you're not going to put mountains there, or a fence there, then I guess you might as well put nothing there, so it just looks like it's not a place you need to go at all. And maybe the character, not the developer. The developer is telling the character maybe they're not interested in heading in this direction because, it's within their own rights as a character that they decided it's against my will to go in that direction or something. Alright, so anyway, I've been trying to get back to wherever that light was off in the woods, but there's just invisible walls everywhere now. And I'm not sure where to go. So I'm going to head back over here and look for, there's the smoke. And then we're going to try and turn because I'm pretty sure that the light was over to the left from the smoke. Oh, it's actually kind of getting into the woods now, too. I have no idea where I am. Oh my goodness, I found somewhere totally different. I don't have any idea where this relates to the rest of the world. Am I up above everything? Never down in it. Any onions around here? I haven't found an onion in ages. Oh, maybe we can go in this tree. No. I just saw this door here on the ground. I thought maybe that was something. Can't, like, open it, right? That would have been weird. You can find some kind of hobbit hole under the door. That does not seem to be the case, though. Alright, let's go back down. Oh, is that the light I was looking for? Man, I got really way off track, didn't I? That's what I get for wandering off onto some peninsula where I didn't belong at all. Oh, I think we're back. I think we're almost back to where the actual game is. Oh god, here it is again! Oh my god, get out of my ear, 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 get out of my ear! I can't hear you, I can't hear you. You're not scaring me in the least, but I have to talk loudly over you, otherwise I'm gonna get a copyright claim. Oh god, it's still here in my ear, why does this... Oh no. Donkey! Donkey's in here! Oh no! Ah, I gotta run out of here. I can't... Oh god! That actually scared me. So the sound of Smash Mouth playing is actually just Shrek. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that there was gonna actually be a monster in this game. So you hear him, and he's actually coming after you because of Smash Mouth. It makes perfect sense, right? Oh, it just won't stop. There's no sense of respect for copyright law. What you're doing, developer. I don't know if we're going to find any more onions. Honestly, this is now going to probably be a problem because there's so much of the Smash Mouth song in this episode. Oh my goodness. Of all the things to legitimately scare me, Swamp Sim. That's the one. So I think we're going to wander off into the water and see what happens. Because it's pretty funny. And I think that's going to be the end of this episode before we go any further into things. That is if we can find the water again. It was back over here somewhere. So now it actually sort of made sense why that music was randomly playing when I was walking over there the first time. It's like, okay, well, there's, like, not really, like, speakers anywhere, but I understand that Shrek sort of exudes that music. So, you know, that's reasonable. What's going on over here? There's, like, a different ground type and everything. There's the burning building over there. I don't know why the building burned down and why Donkey ended up in it. I guess maybe Shrek couldn't take the donkey anymore, making those quips about whatever he was talking about, so he kind of had to just burn him. That's kind of awful, though. Alright, here we go.
Hey now, you're a rock star.
There we go. So that was Swamp Sim, everybody. It's a wild, wild time. If you want to check it out, it's available for free on Game Jolt. I'm going to have a link in the description for you to try it out. Maybe you can find all the onions, and who knows what happens after that. I'm sure there's plenty more Smash Mouth to be had by everyone. Thank you as always for watching, and if you would like, please feel free to check out my other information and my social media stuff. My Twitter, my Facebook, my website, of course, and my Twitch page are all available in there. Go browse, see what you can find, and please do come back again tomorrow. New episodes are every single day. Indie Impression's been running for over 600 consecutive days, and if you'd like to keep things going, I do appreciate any support that you can leave. No obligation, of course, but it does help me out greatly to know that people are still interested and still watching and all that. So hopefully you'll come back again tomorrow, and I will see you soon for that, and have a lovely night. Talk to you later.